Welcome back to Lazy History Club, where we sniff out the weirdest moments the past has to offer, sometimes literally. Tonight's tale wafts in from Victorian London, summer of 1858, when the mighty River Thames turned into an unholy soup of raw sewage, rotting carcasses and industrial goo. The smell was so overwhelming that politicians fled Parliament. Newspapers wrote odes to stench, and one desperate civil servant soaked curtains in vinegar just to keep working. They called it the Great Stink. It lasted only a few weeks, yet transformed public health forever, thanks to one heroic engineer with the most British name ever, Sir Joseph Bazalgette. Grab a mug of peppermint tea. Trust me, you'll need the mint. And let's dive nose first into London's smelliest summer. By 1858, London is the largest city on earth. 2 million people, thousands of factories, and precisely 0 modern sewers. Human waste, animal offal, brewhouse dregs, and chemical runoff all get dumped straight into the Thames. Residents politely call it the Great Wash of Life. Tourists call it IF. Key beats night soil. Most households still rely on backyard cesspits. When pits overflow, night soil men shovel the contents into carts, then often tip it straight into the river. Tide of trouble, warm weather, low rainfall. Beaucassette, the Thames slows, baking under the sun like a gigantic toilet bowl. Quote from the Times, paraphrased, "The Thames is a pestilential scum, more beastly than beneficent." Casual Victorians. People stroll the embankment holding lace-perfumed hankies to their noses. Ah yes, the scent of progress. Date, June 30th, 1858. The smell invades the Palace of Westminster. MPs attempt to debate bills while gagging behind handkerchiefs soaked in chloride of lime. Windowless desperation. They order new drapes soaked in bleach and quicklime. Stink bill. Members introduce emergency legislation allotting $2.5 million to fix the sewers. Passed in 18 days, light speed by Victorian standards. Because, well, nobody could breathe. Prime Minister Lord Derby quips, "We will cleanse the river, or the river will cleanse the house of all of us." Victorians still believe miasma, noxious air, is what spreads disease. Germ theory is a twinkle in Pasteur's eye. Doctors in silk cravats blame cholera on odour rather than bacteria. Public officials commissioned sniff squads to rate river segments from unpleasant to utterly mephitic. Punch magazine cartoon. Death in a top hat, rowing a skiff labelled cholera, down the sludge, waving at politicians. Irony alert. The miasma believers push Parliament to act. So even though their science is wrong, their panic speeds up real sanitation reform. Bazalgette, pronounced Bazalgette, is a civil engineer already respected for London bridges. Character Moments has a walrus moustache and an expression of permanent "I told you so." Keeps meticulous ledgers titled "Things We Actually Need versus Things Parliament Funds." Motto: "The only engineering solution is the big one." His plan, in plain English, build 100 miles of street sewers feeding into 4 massive intercepting sewers paralleling the river, all sloped to use gravity. 2 giant pumping stations, Crossness and Abbey Mills, to push waste eastward past the city. Final outfalls release the product far downstream, where the tidal Thames can carry it toward the North Sea. Cost, $3 million initial, ends up $6 million. Victorians faint. Timeline, 8 years of non-stop digging, tunnelling, bricklaying. Montage of mayhem. 20,000 labourers nicknamed Bazalgette's army. Great stink evolves into great mud. Workers wade through slurry so vile, the press calls them sewernauts. Innovations. Portland cement mass-produced. Egg-shaped brick tunnels. Stronger, self-cleaning. Public spectacle. Tourists pay a shilling to walk newly finished tunnels lit by gas lamps. Victorian theme park vibes. Ladies clutch parasols, remark, "How sanitary!" Side plot, chlorine versus bourbon foreman, drink whiskey to kill germs, while officials spray chloride at work sites to kill miasma. Germs are unimpressed. Morale soars anyway. July 1865. Prince Edward, future Edward VII, inaugurates the system by pressing a button that sets pumps churning at crossness. Journalists cheer. One faints from leftover fumes. Fun fact. Weeks later, accidental ignition of trapped methane in an unfinished vent creates a minor sewer explosion near Westminster. Newspapers dub it the Royal Flush Firework. Bazalgette shrugs. Ventilation, noted. Cholera outbreaks vanish from London within a decade. Bureaucrats credit cleaner air. But suddenly fewer people are drinking river sewage. Fish slowly return. By 1874, anglers list 8 species. Locals still won't swim, but it's progress. Newspapers run gushy headlines. Thames reborn, smells like nothing. High praise. Enter Pasteur and Koch, proving microbes cause disease. Londoners realise Bazalgette accidentally future-proofed the city. Bazalgette's motto, "Build heavy, build wide, one day they'll thank you." His system is designed to handle twice the 1860s population. Modern engineers find it still operating today. So, what have we inhaled, learned? Bad smells can move mountains, or at least political budgets. You can fix public health even when your science is wrong, provided your engineering is colossal. Always appreciate your local sewage workers. They fight invisible wars so you don't have to breathe them. Thanks for wading through London's smelliest summer with Lazy History Club. Until next time, remember, if life stinks, perhaps it's time to upgrade the plumbing.